Okay, so today I'll be not recording video. This video has been pre-recorded. It was never posted because sadly they didn't have any audio on it. But I will kind of be explaining not necessarily the workouts we do, but I'll be explaining each exercise in the workout. So this will be like a almost a series in itself. I guess sometimes the exercises will change. So this video alone will probably be long enough, and maybe another video will have more than just one exercise. But I guess what I'll start off is with like a disclaimer. That being that I have no formal training when it comes to bodybuilding weight training. Of course, experience is still some kind of guide, but at the same and then of course everyone watches random YouTube videos or follow people like Jeff Nippard or Renaissance Fitness or Dr. Mike Tail or with TNF and all that. So you watch that and you learn. So you get like a basic understanding. So I'll try to put this in like layman's terms, avoid using like science words, and then just express things to how I understand them to be. It doesn't mean they'll be correct. At the end of the day, science, whatever studies may show or science may tell us, even though things apply to us generally, everyone is still different. So you want to kind of experiment and see what actually ends up working in the real world because anecdotes are still a thing. So, and they can be very valid. So experiment, see how things work. Maybe they help, maybe they don't. The first example I would give is that for me, for hitting my chest, I use a more narrow grip as opposed to a wider grip. A part of that might be because of how my left shoulder is. It's a little weird. So for me to go wider, I almost have no strength in it. So accommodations like that you make for yourself, knowing how your body is to allow you to train effectively. So pretty much want to break down how we perform the incline press. So incline press, we use the Smith machine because that's the only thing that's available. You can use a Smith or you can use a free weight barbell. That's perfectly fine. The only difference is the path is predetermined on the Smith machine, so you can't really direct the weight the way you want it, and you kind of just push, which means you don't have to stabilize it, and you can most likely load on more weight. You can go closer to failure, and you don't really need a spot either, because once you can't do it anymore, you just flick your wrist forward, and then you're perfectly fine and you're safe. The barbell Smith machine can feel like you're kind of in the danger zone, but you just then put racks slightly below where you're, let's say, you put the racks slightly below where your elbows might be. Not slightly below, but slightly around where your elbows would be when you're on the bottom part of the rep. So, the way we do most of our heavy main lifts, I guess some of these things I said today I'll repeat in these other videos, is we do them we warm up with 2 sets and then we do 2 working sets. So I kind of got this from Mike Menser. The way he chose to warm up is with 50 for 10, 75 for 8, and then 100 for, no, 75 for like 5, and then like 100 for 1 to 3. So, and then this is how he did his like high intensity training, and then the 100 would be just for 1 set. So when he would say he'd train for 1 set, this is how he would warm up for that. So that was that. So we took that and we kind of adjusted it. So at first we were doing 1 to 3 reps on the heaviest weight, but we had to bring that down because we're trying to build muscle, not necessarily build strength. Even bringing it down to 5 reps or bringing it up to 5 reps and bringing the weight down has also helped us to get stronger too. Because sometimes getting more actual reps in allows your muscles and also allows you to adapt to the lift. So yeah, so pretty much we start off with 75, then we go to No, we start off with 50%, then we go to 75%, and then we go to 100%, and then we do 100% again, or we go slightly heavier or slightly lighter, depending on how it is. But as you get stronger, your 100% won't always go up, but your 50% can go up as long as you're not fatigued by doing those 10 reps at 50%. So you can do the 10, usually it's 8, 9, or 10 reps that we do at 50% without feeling much fatigue, not necessarily taking it to failure. And then we do 5, or not 5, but then we do about 6 to 8. Again, not really taking it to failure. And then we do 4 to 5, which take to failure. You see my form kind of degrades here because right here we're at the 100%. My form that kind of degrades, like I start maybe arching a little bit more, like lifting my butt up. Honestly, that's more so just because I want to work hard and like work at it. So you can stop when when you feel like your form is going to deteriorate, but sometimes it's okay to like let the form fall to the side if you want to keep pushing. Because at the end of the day, like working hard is what will bring more gains than like having perfect form and being a robot and never truly challenging yourself. As long as it's all done safely. So that's kind of like the scheme for how we put the weight on the bar and then the sets and the volume. So of course we do this about 2 times a week. So I think if you do the math on that, that should be a proper amount of, not really a proper amount of volume, but we do about 3 chest exercises each chest workout, 3 or 4, and then no more than like, what is that? It'll be around 10 working sets throughout the week. So it should fall within the magic numbers that people recommend. I don't know too much on that, so I won't speak on that too much. So another thing when doing the incline Smith machine press, you don't have to. We don't necessarily do it all the time. Is you take a nice little pause at the bottom. So for me, I don't necessarily pause for a long period of time. I don't like bounce it off my chest or just immediately start pushing. There's like a slight moment at the bottom where the stretch is just kind of where the stretch is there, and then I continue. So a lot of YouTubers have been covering this now. A lot of fitness influencers covering this now. That the stretch portion, the loaded stretch, not just a stretch, but a stretch under tension, is actually amazing for growing muscle. So that's why I mentioned using a more narrow grip because that lets me get a pretty decent stretch on my chest as opposed to a wider one. So that allows me to hit my chest pretty well. And of course, we are doing incline press to begin with because most people have underdeveloped upper chests. I know mine definitely is for sure. That's why we're doing incline instead of any other version. I'd also say that we start off with this move um, because we start off with a compound like this because we want to go heavy. And what Dr. Mike Izutell likes to say a lot is that whatever you start with in your workout is probably what's going to grow the most. And also at the start of your workout is when you're also the freshest and the strongest. So we start off with a heavy move that allows us to put a lot of work in on the chest and in particular the upper chest. So that's what we're trying to work the most when we're hitting our push days. And then also the triceps and of course the front delts are getting a little piece of the pie as well. So I think incline fifth machine press or incline press, you've probably seen Sam Sulek do it all the time. It's just a really good exercise to do on your push days. But that should be about it.